Hello, everybody. Thanks so much for joining us again tonight. I believe this is our 14th webinar for the Business Savvy Makeup Artist. So, hooray, 14.
Very cool.
And tonight we have Trisha Williams with us, and Leigh will introduce her in a moment. But for those of you who don't know me, I'm Jacqueline Menconi, and I'm a makeup artist out in New Jersey. I do a lot of stuff for television and commercials and some bridal as well. I'm also a custom blend specialist.
All right, and my name is Leigh Raeder, and I'm in the state of Wisconsin. I've been a master cosmetologist for going on 23 years, and I'm also a national educator. And I've just been having a blast with you, Jacqueline. We've been interviewing amazing, amazing people. Today, though, we have Trisha Williams, and I'm so excited to have you on. She actually has 21 years of experience in the beauty industry. Just a very talented, knowledgeable, amazing. She specializes in anti-aging, skincare, and makeup artistry. She's also the managing owner of Customskin Medspa in Kansas, which is known for its customized products and treatment plans. And I'm so excited to have you on because you are just so knowledgeable and just so amazing. And I can't wait to just pick your brain and hear all about you and what you have going on. So welcome, Trisha.
Thank you very much. I'm excited to be here.
Yay, we're so glad to have you. And I love your haircut. It's so cute.
Oh, thank you. Fun, easy, and sassy, right?
So cute. Yeah. I love it. I love it. So, I'm going to go ahead and get right into it, Trisha. I'd love for you, you have 21 years in the business. If you could please give us an idea of what brought you to the beauty industry. How did you get here? What did you do? Just give us a kind of abbreviated, how did you get into the beauty industry synopsis, if you would.
Wow. I think that's a full question.
I know. I know.
I think, for me, it was from the beginning. It was something that I've kind of always wanted to do. I'm a big people person, and I'm a big one for, helping anybody in any way I can. And I really feel like the beauty industry is something that you can really help somebody in so many different ways, from inside out internally, through skincare, through cosmetics, but not only that, but on a personal level. I'm really big on, I think one of the biggest things that, I would say my attribute for my business or what I've done for the last 21 years is become a friend maker. I'm very close with my friends and my clients and, building that trust. And, I still, as far as my clients behind the chair, I still have clients I did in school. And I'm still doing them today, 21 days later. So, I think the biggest thing for me is building that relationship and truly helping people feel better about themselves and be a better person. And that's where it starts, honestly, because that's what we're here for. I mean, the beauty industry, you're here to help others, and that's why you're doing what you do. Whether it makes them feel better because, all of a sudden they've never worn makeup and you put some powder on them, having the feel of somebody walk in and, their head's down, and when they leave their heads up and they're inspired and they feel like they can go out and, rock the world and kill it, and, where they maybe never felt that before. Or, I had a client, for an example, this is a prime example, and, when I train, I always tell this story because it really hits home, I think, for all of us in the industry of why we're here and what we do. But I had a girl that was turning 16, and her mom had called me, and it's really easy for those of us that have been in the industry a long time to be, when somebody calls about a teenager, or they call about maybe something outside of your norm. I deal a lot with anti-aging. I do a lot of weddings, and so I don't do, not that I don't do a lot of teenage, but it's not something I focus on maybe. And so I had a mom call and ask if I would show her 16-year-old daughter how to put makeup on. And so at that time I was like, okay, we can do that, but I'm busy and let's see. And I, actually had an hour. And so I just said, okay, bring her in. My thought, I'm thinking, okay, I'm going to show her and then I'm going to move on to my other appointments and, help her out, that sort of thing. And it's easy to get stuck in that rut of, reminding yourself why we're here, and what our purpose is and, what the plan is or what we're intended to do. But she came in, we showed her, less is more. We went through that whole process and showed her how to nobody's ever showed her how to put lipstick on or anything like that. And when she left, to me, I'm thinking, oh, that was fun. They're going to dinner and, all that. When she left, her mom called me and she was crying. And she goes, I just want you to know that her mom died when she was like a year old, and so she's been raised by her dad, and her dad and I just got married a few months ago, so she literally has never had anybody show her how to put makeup on, and you just made her life and her world. So for the first time, and that was an eye-opener for me, like, okay, back up, why are we doing this? What are we doing? And to me, that's the power of what we do, and that's the beauty of what we can do within the beauty industry, no matter whether it's hair, skin, makeup, we're here to help, others, lift them up. And, I think that is the true beauty of why we're here. And to me, that's why I'm here. I've done this for a long time, but that's my true passion. And, with what I do now full time, within the spa, that's my passion is, being able to take somebody and fully help them in every way they need, from beginning to end, but build that trust and that relationship. And that's my biggest tip, I guess I would say, is I build trust, and I have, clients that I'll have for life due to that. And that's a big key, I think.
Yeah. It's so powerful. That's so rewarding too. I mean, it's so true. It's so true when you say that, you kind of get in the daily grind, and then to kind of have that reminder and just say, oh my gosh, that's why I do what I do, is because of the way that I can make other people feel. And that's an awesome story. I love that. So did you always know that you wanted to get into the beauty industry, or, did you go to school right out of school? Like, tell me about how you started your career.
Yeah, I did. I always knew I wanted to do something within the beauty industry. It's kind of funny how it's evolved from, simple, doing nails basically is where I started to where I am now with the aesthetic side clear through, on the medical side now with the med spa. But, it's kind of evolved in that direction to where, again, my passion is helping people. That is really my passion, is helping people. And it's something that I just started the medical side in full force, full time, about two years ago now. And, honestly, it's something I didn't have to do. I stayed home full time, minus one day a week with my clients with my baby, which is now just turned 3. But, it's something that I just have such a passion for, and to be able to help people. And that's kind of why I decided to tiptoe back in and then went full bore. And so, it's kind of gone from starting there where my passion was to, even a deeper version of it, of where I am now. But, yeah, so starting simple, but it has evolved to where it is now, which I love.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah. That is pretty great. So tell us about the different steps in your career. You said that you started out basically doing nails, right?
Correct.
And then when was the transition to hair and makeup? When was the transition to med spa? Like, give us just a kind of like rundown of how that happened for you.
Okay. For me, it kind of started, like I said, starting just with the nail side of it. And then probably about 15 years ago, ish or so. It was one of those things that I wanted to expand on something. I didn't want to sit all day, honestly.
Yeah.
I wanted to be able to sit and stand, equally and do something else as well. I had a full clientele, but, still diversity, making myself a little bit more diverse. And So probably about 15 years ago, then I went and had some specific training within makeup artistry alone, as well, as joining into, the aesthetic side of it as well. So, and then, like I said, digging deeper into the medical side just about 2 years ago. But I owned at that point in time, starting in '02, I believe, I opened a large salon and spa. So I had up to 16 employees at that point.
Oh, wow.
And it was a full spa. So I owned that. And that was kind of the start for me between the cosmetics and the skincare and, and all of the duration and then really deep into the cosmetics. And again, focusing on everything I do is customized. I know you said that as well. So everything I do is fully customized. So I'm, inside and out. I'm a huge believer in that because everything you do starts internally. So, my biggest specialty is I am a professional makeup artist. I've done magazines and photo shoots and all of that, but my passion really lies internally and in the skin because that's where it all starts. And then, using makeup as an enhancer. You can use it as a cover-up, but having that as the bonus to enhance what we can do internally and through the skin. So that's kind of my biggest passion, I would say, with that. But with that being said, in '07, I believe, '08, '07, I actually sold my large salon and spa. At the same time, I'd actually adopted our daughter from Guatemala. So that was our first one. So she's 10 now.
Oh,
and
wow.
so she was a little under a year, or right over a year, I should say. So that's when I had somebody come and want to purchase my large spa. And so I ended up selling, and then I stayed home with her. At that time, I actually became a national educator as well. So literally sold on a Friday and became asked to become a national educator on Monday. So, all in God's plan, as far as that goes, right? So taking that leap of faith. But yeah, so I mean, I've been a trainer for a little over 10 years now, which again, I love. I have a passion for helping and educating, and I'm one of those knowledge is power people. I always say I'm not the rah-rah trainer, but if you want the knowledge, I'll give it to you. So
you're an amazing,
very detailed person.
You're amazing. I've heard amazing things about you as a trainer. So I am wondering what, because this is the thing that a lot of newer people in the industry ask us, how do you build your clientele and how do you promote your business?
Yeah.
Well, I personally, again, it's believing in yourself. And for me, I was one of those that I had to have my personality. I had to have as much knowledge about everything before I could share anything. You want to say that? So I was a big educator in myself. So I had to learn what I had. But number one, I had to be a product of the product, and I had to have a passion for what I was using. So no matter what I'm using, I have to have the knowledge, but I also have to have something that I love and I can't live without. And I think that's really important because you can't promote and you can't honestly work with something and make a living off of it if you don't have a passion for it. So, with the beauty industry, it's hard work. It's hard work. In the beginning, I'd work from 7 in the morning till 10 at night. And you just do what you have to do to let people, get them in when you can. And, I gave a lot of free services as well. Maybe it was a little service here or there. Maybe it was a complimentary, makeover or consultation or anything like that. And, because I have true feeling and belief that whatever you give forward, you will give back. You will get back. So, truly taking the time to help somebody and not feel like you have to be a gain at that moment, but you will have them for life. And that's a true key. So, but it starts with what you're doing. You have to have a passion for what you're doing. You have to love the products that you're using. You have to have belief in what you're using. It all goes hand in hand. And then at that point, I'm also a big believer in everything on the opposite end, everything on the business side of it. You have to be able to leverage yourself and leverage what you're doing as well. So, my family is very important to me. I have 2 adopted babies, and, I've been able to stay home pretty much full time with both of them. In the beginning, my daughter both of us were with her for the first pretty much 8 years of her life. So nonstop. And so, you have to learn how to on a business side, be good too. Help people be, successful in what you're doing with them, but, also realize that it's a business and treat it like a business as well. And I think in this industry, it's very easy to get away with not treating it as a business. And, you want to be able to give some freebies, but it's your life and it's your business. And if I'm going to take times away from my kids and my husband and my family, then it needs to be productive and it needs to be, worthwhile. As far as that goes too. So, I think the biggest thing is just realizing that what we do is a profession. It's, it's a job, it's a profession, and a lot of people, want to think, oh, I can just come in there and touch me up, it's no big deal, or let me do this and do that. So when, you treat it like a profession, then people see you as a professional. And that's very, very important in this industry. It's very easy to get caught up in the fashion side of it and the, the heaven above, but, presenting yourself as the professional.
I could not agree with you more, Trisha. I think that's so key. And I have a group of people that I'm working with right now and kind of helping them with their businesses. People don't realize how easy it is to make makeup artistry and the beauty industry into a hobby, right?
Absolutely.
Because they think, you're playing with color, like, because a lot of people don't realize that, first of all, makeup artists, listen, if you're a makeup artist out there, if you're watching live or if you're watching the recording, if you're a makeup artist, aspiring or, veteran, and you don't know anything about skin, you're missing the point.
Absolutely.
You're doing it wrong. You're doing it wrong, because skin is the canvas that makeup is on. There's only so much spackle you can put on a face, right? So and people don't realize that, it's not just all colors and, making people look pretty. It's not about that. If you are picking makeup artistry or anything in the beauty industry as a profession, it's a career. Trisha said it's a job, right?
Yeah.
You have to, it's a business. And if you are a freelancer, right? If you own your own business, or if you're a freelancer, or if you own your own company, or whatever it is, you're the one that's going to pay yourself. Like, no one else is going to get these jobs for you. No one else is going to be the one getting clients for you. That's you getting paid by you. And I love that, Trisha, you used the word leverage a couple times, because we're always on these webinars. That's like a very common theme, leverage. Because people don't even realize that that's a word that they should know. So, as a makeup artist, you're kind of only as good as your last job. And you're trading time for money, right? I'm going to give you my time and application, makeup application, and in turn, you're going to hand me money for that. And then when you're not working, you're not getting paid, right? So the next, this is going to be like that little transition, and I'd love just to take a moment now, and to the people that are tuning in live, if you have any questions for any of us, Trisha, Leigh, myself, please go ahead and type them in throughout the whole webinar, okay? And we'll do our best at the very end to answer them, okay? So with that being said, Trisha, leverage. I just can't speak on this enough. Can you give us an idea of how you leverage the med spa? Like, what's an example of leverage? Like, if you could go into that a little bit.
Okay. Leverage is key. I mean, and that's, to me, I think it's, a true example of, are you a true owner of a company, or are you self-employed? And that's kind of always how, if I had to break it down and kind of maybe describe it, because I hear a lot of people say, well, I'm self-employed. I own my own business, but I'm self-employed. And it's like, that's really, of course, that's what we all aspire to be. But in reality, if you're only self-employed and working on your own, it's the hardest thing that you'll ever do. And don't get me wrong, it's so gratifying. I mean, I have never had a boss ever in my life. I graduated high school. I've never had to work for anybody because I've worked for myself from day one. But with that being said, it's not always been, I mean, I've worked, it wasn't abnormal to work 60, 70, 80 hours a week, and especially in the beginning, because it's the hardest thing you do. Owning a traditional business, it's the hardest thing that you do, but it also, if you do it correctly, will pay off in the end. And so, but leveraging yourself is where it has to be, and having, your fingers in multiple streams of income is highly important. I always refer to, I mean, there's multiple millionaires and billionaires out there that don't do just one thing. They own multiple companies, or they own multiple types of businesses that may not even be related, or they may. But, being able to leverage yourself and having yourself surrounded by key people that, if you decide to go take a vacation, that's the true difference between being a true owner of what you have and being a self-employed individual, is that, when you go on vacation, ask yourself, is my business going to stop while I'm gone for the next week?
Yeah.
Or is it going to continue to run as I go lay on the beach for the next week? And that's the true, however you answer that question will tell you if you are an owner, you are a self-employed individual. And that's what it boils down to, and it's hard to switch that mindset. And I'm one of those people that in the beginning, especially when I had my first salon and spa, I had a really hard time with this because people would call me maybe a control freak, but I had a hard time with that because I was one of those that if it's going to be done, I need to do it. Right. And by the time I got done telling you how to do it, I could have just done it myself, right? And so, all of those things, it was just easier for me to do it than to delegate out jobs for my staff to do, or, whoever is working with me. But during the process of our first adoption, I actually got stuck in Guatemala with her for 4 months. So I actually lived in the village with my daughter for 4 months, but that was the first time that I had to, that was the division line for me. So that's where a couple things, I learned that my business was going to be able to run with or without me. It was the first time that, in my brain that, hey, look, my girls can help, with, what they're doing, and everything's going to be okay, and nothing's going to fall to the ground. And, we've built this for a reason. We've built what we have for a reason and worked hard for a reason, but now I need to understand the power of leverage. And that's when I really did understand that power. And from there, it was kind of a different mindset switch. The other thing that I'm very passionate about with training is your why, and understanding why you're doing what you do. If you're going to work 80 hours a week, you need to know why you're doing it. Why is it important to you? And not only why, but, why are you doing it? So, what in your world makes you get out of bed in the morning and put your feet on the ground and go? What's going to, when you're, you hit the wall and, I'm going to quit and I don't want to do this anymore. And I think everybody in this industry understands that, especially in the beginning. It's hard work. You may make $1,000 the entire month, and then the next month you make $5,000. But it's hard work, and but you have to have that drive and passion and why behind you in order to do that. So partnering a why with true leverage will take you, and having the compassion and the passionate for other people, and understanding that and taking care of other people. I think that's the biggest thing is, I understand my staff now. If I take care of them, they'll take care of me. And, I think that's the biggest thing. Or, anybody I work with within, my makeup artistry teams and, and even training. I also know that as I go and train, I'm going to, my job is a trainer, and I understand that's my job. Within that, it is a job to be a trainer. It really is, and it's as an educator, and it's a lot of work, but I do it because I love the industry, and I have experience and over years, and I like to be able to share that with people, at that sense. But being able to help as many people as I can. But I also know there may come a day where I'll meet tons of, I get to meet some amazing people along the line, and I know that there may come a time where, hey, I need something, or they have info that I don't have, or experience in something that I don't have. And, making those connections, especially in this industry, is highly important to be able to leverage yourself. And, hey, maybe that's not my specialty, but I met this girl in Washington, and hold on, let me ask, you can ask her that question, or, but being able to do that is so, so important in this industry, and, and leveraging yourself.
Perfect. I love that whole entire thing. I mean, I totally agree about the self-employed situation, because a lot of people who are just self-employed, they think that they own their own business, but if they aren't, leveraging, then like you said, I mean, you can't just leave. I would take off, a week, and I'd have to work twice as hard when I got back, just to make up with, what I missed. So very important. And as you get farther along in your career and a little bit older, that's important, because you can only do faces and stand behind the chair for so long before you have to start doing something else and worrying about, like your goals and your dreams and what you want to do with the rest of your life. So what are some of the things that you implement in your spa that give you leverage, besides you have employees there, it sounds like?
Yeah, I actually only have one full-time employee, so there's only 2 of us. Which is great. I love it, because it's very, and then we have our doctor as well, but it's just very, very small, very quaint. But again, my whole thing is trust, and when you work in a medical environment, and especially something in the medical, it's a very private and a very trustworthy environment. And so, being able to, again, build that trust with your clients, and know that they can come to you for anything and everything. I mean, I used to laugh that, at that point in time I was a walking phone book. I guess now I'm walking Google, right? But, people would call for the craziest things. Where should I have this reception or that reception? But, it really does come down to, building that trust, and, leveraging yourself with, the products, and leveraging yourself with having the key. I go back to that, being a product, and having key items and key products that truly will leverage what you're doing, and that they return. And that's the key too. You need to not only, I talk to so many people that, oh, I love this product, or businesses, and I love this product, and I love this makeup, and my first question is that, okay, I know you love this product, but what's your rate of return? So, you sell this product, well, great. How many of those people that, they'll tell me, oh, somebody came in about $300 the other day. Okay, so what is your rate of return? So if you sold $10,000 of it a year, what is your rate of return? Or are you always looking for that new $10,000 in that year? And so, and most of them, in reality, they don't have a rate of return, or B, they don't know, because of the business side. So it goes back both ways.
So key. I hope everybody is taking notes on that, guys, because what Trisha just said was like such a golden nugget, right? If you are retailing product, and we'll get into the products in a moment, Trisha, I hope that you'll share with us the products that you use.
Sure.
If you are retailing product to your clients, whether you have a med spa, or whether you have a salon, or whether you're a makeup artist and you do bridal, or like hairstylist, whatever you are in the beauty industry, if you retail product, how many of your clients are constantly rebuying those products from you? And
it's everything. It's everything.
It means everything to your business. I don't care if retailing is 5% of your business, because guess what? If retailing is only 5% of your business as a makeup artist, there's a reason.
Right. And it's not only that, it's telling you, and sometimes it's hard because we have to actually look at ourselves in the mirror.
Yes.
in many reasons, but I mean, in our business, no matter what, it all starts with us. It really does. And so a lot of times, if whatever issue you're having in the business, or retailing, or whatever it is that you're trying to achieve, and you're just not quite getting there, or you think, it's not that, I have this makeup line that I love to work with, and but if you're not, and you're trying to retail and it's not happening, then it's almost, you got to step back and say, okay, what is it about this product that I love? Is it because the name that's on it is the name that everybody says you should use, or is it because it's in Glamour magazine, or why is it that I love it? Because the true fact is if you don't truly have a passion for it, then you're not going to sell anything, because it's not about selling. Selling is not about selling, and at all. And it doesn't matter what profession you're in. It doesn't matter if you're selling cars. I mean, I could not probably go sell a car to anybody except for the fact, I mean, for real, because cars just, I mean, I want a dependable car, but I don't need to drive a Lexus, right? Or a BMW or anything like that. That's just not my game. Now, if you have somebody that loves cars and all into the engine and all that, they could probably sell 10 cars a day because that's their passion. So, going back to that makeup line, it's really important to go back and look. If you're not retailing, it's because you don't really truly have a passion for what you're using. You're using it and you're putting it on, but you're probably not using that same product on yourself. You're probably using other things, would be my guess. Because you don't have a passion for it. So it's all about sharing, and once you have a passion for something, then you'll just talk about it and you'll sell it because people buy you and your excitement and your passion, and they buy it because once you build trust, because you tell them to buy it. I mean, that's it. You used it on them, you tell them it looks great, and they trust you, and that's the bottom line, and that's the beauty of our industry, is that once you build that trust, then basically you are their go-to. If you truly build the trust and brand yourself, then anything around that industry, they will come to you and ask.
Absolutely.
I seen this, what do you think about that? Or I seen this, and what do you think about that? And that's what you want to build your name around, is that when they see a commercial and they see anything in the beauty industry, your name comes up. If I see a makeup brush, I think of Trisha. If I see a blush, I think of Trisha. That's how you want to build that rapport with your clients. And it takes time, but it also goes back to giving them that one-on-one attention. But if you're not retailing enough, it starts with you. You really got to reevaluate yourself and back up and reset goals, and really look at yourself in the mirror of either am I losing the passion for the industry? Do I need something myself to kickstart? Do I need to surround myself by different people in the industry that I need that can move me to another level? Or what is it that I need to do personally to be able to kickstart my business again, if that's what it is that I'm looking to do? But it all starts with us and the products and refining those people around us, or education, or taking more trainings, or whatever it is that we need to do to, inspire ourselves, because once we're inspired, everyone around us will be.
100%.
Exactly. And honestly, too, I mean, even having the ability to retail, I am so amazed that a lot of people I talk to, they're like, well, I don't retail, I don't have a product line that I retail. And I'm like, what? What do you send them home with? And
Absolutely.
they're like, well, I just tell them where to get it. I'm like, that's a huge part of our income. So if you don't have a line that you're in love with, that you're able to retail, you need to search for one because so important.
Yeah,
so
and
that leads.
Well, it's not, and I just want to add one more thing before we ask her, about all the products and stuff. Before we even get there, it's retailing is not just for salons and med spas. Retailing is for a film makeup artist. Retailing is for a commercial makeup artist. Like, this is what I do, right? I'm in the production world of makeup artistry. And guess what, guys? I'm really busy with working, but everyone has their down weeks or months or seasons or whatever. It's very common as a freelancer. So what do you do in those off months? What are you going to do without any money coming in? Because again, as a freelancer, you don't have any leverage, right? So you're trading time for money. And this is where I give a shout out to Robert Kiyosaki's Cash Flow Quadrant. If you haven't read it, read it. You'll get what we're talking about.
Absolutely.
But you'll, if you're not if you're not taking advantage of your positioning in the beauty industry, and by positioning, I mean you're the expert, right? People know what you do for a living. They say, what do you think about this, that, and the other, like Trisha said. And if you don't have something to give them in return, you're missing the boat. And then on your slow weeks and your slow months, when you have $0 coming in and you think about, do I get a part-time job somewhere? But I don't want to work a part-time job. Maybe I'll do this or that, or maybe I'll babysit. Maybe I'll dog walk. Like whatever you want to do, by all means. But if you want to be a smart business person in the beauty industry, retailing, retailing, retailing. Okay.
Oh, absolutely. And even any, absolutely. I mean, even any business that you do, all the in the beauty industry, whether it be a salon or anything, their money, their extra income comes from retail.
Of course.
And that's just how it is. And so, but on the note that you just said, I just want to make one point too. You know, I always have so many people say, well, you own a salon, or you own a med spa, or you have a business outlet, so I can't do that like you do it. And the bottom line, and it doesn't matter, because makeup and skincare and all that doesn't just walk off the shelf by itself. People don't just, I mean, not that they don't, but people typically don't just walk in off the street and say, I want that, that, and that. It doesn't happen that way. It has to be presented. It has to be shared. It has to be educated. And, you know, it has to be, you have to help it walk off the shelf. You know, it has to be through consultation. So, you know, even if I didn't have this environment, I would still, it's no different. I spend that one-on-one time with them, educating them, letting them feel it, letting them play with it. What do I need? What do I don't need? So, you know, I have people say that, but in reality, it still comes back to me to be able to make the product move, to retail the product, and to find it's a solution is all it is. When you're retailing, you're finding the solution to what they need, and that's it. And so, you know, it doesn't matter what environment you're in. Our job is to find a solution for their needs, and that's it. And that's the bottom line. And so it doesn't really matter in the beauty industry whether you're on your own or you're in a larger environment or a business. It still comes down to us and that one-on-one with that client.
Absolutely. I mean, I'm on set all the time, and I sell stuff on set all the time. Not because I'm selling, because I am the worst salesperson that ever walked the earth, but because I'm putting stuff on them, and they're loving it, and they're asking me for advice, and then I give them the advice that they're already asking me for, and then boom, I sell something. So, yeah, I mean, Leigh, if you'd like to go into the next question, because we're about 15 minutes away.
I know, but I mean, I have to say that too, because women, skincare is a billion-dollar industry, cosmetics is a billion-dollar industry, and they are very confused, and they don't know what they should use. So to be an expert in your field and be able to provide them with those solutions, that's how you retail. You don't just like try to push products that they don't need. It's like a true, like you said, creating that relationship, having a passion for it. They can feel that, and you know, you're helping them, they're helping you. Everybody's happy. I mean, that's exactly the way it should be. So tell me, what amazing products do you retail?
Like I said in the beginning, I'm very big on beauty from the inside out. So I deal a lot with nutrition, I deal a lot with skincare, and then like I said with the cosmetics, I do a lot with cosmetics. But you know, my philosophy is 90% of what happens with your skin happens internally. So 90% starts in your gut. So, you know, I'm, you know, working with, you know, the Isotonics product line. Everything that we do within the spa is 100% customized for them, from nutrition to their skincare to their cosmetics. You know, for a couple reasons. Number one, I love the product. I believe in the product. I can specifically blend a custom cocktail, literally, that we do in-house. So I can literally blend for them in-house the custom cocktail that they need according to their body. Then we can move to skincare, and we can literally blend with the skincare that we use, which the skincare I deal primarily with two different lines. I like the Lumiere, and then I like the Lumiere DB, and then I like the Skintelligence line for a couple reasons. One's an anti-aging. The other one is with the Skintelligence is a balancer. And when it comes to most people, you know, working with an anti-aging but also a balancer, 90% of, you know, acne and some other issues is an imbalance in the skin and imbalance in the body. So just the combination of a greens and Skintelligence where somebody that's got acne, we can almost clear it up completely within a couple of weeks with just solving some of those little issues. You know, and a lot of people's first response is to go to acne lines and some of those things. And, you know, the true reality is our body is made to heal itself. And so being able to have the right products that are made to help and aid and enhance our body and our skin that allows our body to be able to heal itself is amazing. And, you know, I've been working with all of these products now for about 12 years. So, you know, I really truly have a passion for them. And then going into the cosmetics, obviously working with Custom Blend and blending, again, everything we can. And, you know, all of our products working with a true mineral-based product. And, sorry, my allergies are horrible today. Working with a true Custom Blend product and, you know, being able to make a foundation that matches them or make a, you know, maybe it's a tinted sunscreen, you know. Being able to also use a product, we have such good 100% mineral-based products that I can use our sunscreens, I can use our powders over laser treatments immediately or over, you know, any kind of treated skin, and that's really, really important to talk about the quality of that. You know, our team goes into quality control amazingly in our product support and, you know, our ingredients that are behind it. There's clinical studies and clinical studies behind them that are just truly amazing products. And so, yes, I have a passion for our products for sure. Yes.
Custom blend.
Yeah. So
yeah, there you go. The Custom Blend, of course, absolutely.
You said a couple names, a couple of the lines, the names of the lines. I can't speak today, sorry. You said isotonics.
I never can.
You said isotonics for the nutritionals, right?
Correct.
And
isotonics for the nutritional.
Skintelligence as one of your favorite skincare lines. And then the other one was Lumiere de Vie, right?
Correct. If you look really close, they're back behind me.
Yeah, that's good. And then you like to custom blend, and now you know, I'm just gonna go ahead and say that's through Motives Cosmetics, right?
It is through Motives Cosmetics, correct?
Right.
Which is amazing and a very, very worldly name as well, and very well known globally. I mean, it's just a beautiful product line. Absolutely. And, you know, my key thing, too, one of the true reasons I actually started working with this product, what I say about 12 years ago, was the true fact that I could blend something. And for our industry, it's very, very important to be able to set yourself apart. And so I can blend something specifically for that individual, and they have to come back to me to get it. And so that's, again, what starts to build that loyalty is the fact that they can't cheat on me, right? So the more that I can blend for them, the more they have to come back to me to get it, and that's hugely important. So if I can make them a custom lip shine or a custom lipstick that they can't get anywhere else, then it really steers away from that walking through Dillard's or walking through the mall and walking by the, you know, the MAC counter or something and picking up that lip gloss for the weekend when they know they have something specifically made for them. Then if they have something big that weekend, they'll be calling you or texting you on Monday and Tuesday and saying, hey, I need to come by and get that or get this filled or whatever it may be. So again, it's building your brand. It's building your own brand. They have to come to you to get it. And not only that, when they leave with a custom product, they're 100% satisfied. There's no question in their mind because A, they have a custom product, or B, they maybe helped you blend that. You know, they were in that process, and when they can be a part of that process, they can take control of it, and it's something they did. You know, even though you did it, when they're in control with you with that, then they have a feeling of, look what I have. And And, you know, also we're women and we want something that nobody else has, right? And so they can
Yes.
go to their friends and girlfriends and say, look at this, you can't have it, right? And so that's, it's a fact, right?
It
And
totally
so
is.
it totally is a
Totally is.
fact, but you know, it's fun that way, and you know, be able to have something like that is hugely important, and that's where I talked about earlier about really looking at what you have in the mirror, and just, you know, not that what you have is a bad product, because I'm not saying that whatsoever, but you know, number two, put the business hat on, and sometimes it's hard to step out of what you're used to and step back and really be, you know, look at it and say, hey, you know, this is what I'm using, but in reality, it's not giving me the return I need for my business, and step back and say, what do I need to do to change that? Or what can I add? And maybe keeping some of what you have, but what can I add to what I'm doing to be able to take my business in makeup artistry, or take my business financially, my bottom dollar at the end of the year, take it to the next level based on what I need or what my goals are for that year. So that's really, really important to be able to do that.
Absolutely. And I love that. And I just want to keep bouncing back and forth, since we do have such different backgrounds, Trisha. And even with Leigh, you know, Leigh comes from the salon ownership world. She's a makeup artist, master cosmetologist, hairstylist, amazing. You know, you have your experience in the same salon, spa kind of world. I'm just over here in the other realm of like TV, you know. But I just want to keep on like drilling it into people's heads that this is not just for the salon and spa world. So, you know, again, as a production makeup artist, I custom blend as well. And I custom blend actors all the time. And so now I have actors calling me, texting me, emailing me, asking for a new blend to be mailed to them to wherever they're shooting around the world all the time, because I made it for them once when they were in town for a shoot, and now they know that that particular makeup works beautifully for them, not only every day, but even more importantly for them on camera.
Absolutely.
So no matter who they have on location with them, whether it's a low budget shoot and maybe they're, you know, they're doing an indie film and, you know, they don't have a makeup artist on set for whatever reason, they're doing it really low budget, they at least know that their skin will look good. Or if they do have a great makeup artist on set, they still don't have to even think twice about what they're going to put on them, because they give them their custom blend bottle and that's what they're using. So, I mean, it's not just for storefront kind of traditional business salons, spas, med spas.
Absolutely. And that's the beauty, honestly, of Motives, is the fact that, you know, with being a trainer, like I said, I've been a corporate trainer with them for about 10 years, and that is the beauty of it, because we do train. You know, there's many different levels within the product that you work with. I mean, you have different levels of individuals that become certified within Motives, but you know, being able to take that aspiring makeup artist and put them through the proper training program, be able to achieve what it is they're looking for. So yeah, absolutely. I mean, we have all levels of skill, you know, but being able to put yourself through a training program to be able to, you know, perfect your skill and work towards the goals that, you know, you're looking to achieve. And again, adding that little nugget, like we talked about, to be able to take your business to the next level, you know, and continue to add education, and that's definitely key.
Yeah.
Right, and the tools that they give you as well. I mean, you know, giving you your own website so you don't have to, you know, carry everything in stock, and the education that's global, all the marketing and tools that they give you. I mean, coming from having a salon myself, I know how much time all that stuff takes. They pretty much just give all that, you know, you have access to all of it. So it is basically like a business, and you have a mentor, and you have access to the product that's really not like anything else out there as far as any other product line or any other company out there. I've never came across a company like it. So if there are people that are kind of interested in what it is we're talking about, that would be like a whole nother conversation. So, you know, definitely reach out to whoever invited you to the webinar, or, you know, reach out to one of us if you saw it on our social media, because honestly, it's something that is really worth checking into to see if it would be a fit for what you have going on.
Absolutely.
For sure. Yeah, for sure.
Agreed. So we have just a couple more minutes. Let's see if we can get like one last little tidbit in.
Sure.
Okay. So, all right. So let's just talk very, very, very quickly about the advice that you would give to a makeup art or somebody in the beauty industry who has kind of lost his or her luster and is in a rut. Like what kind of advice would you give that person?
Well, you know, I think the advice would maybe that I'm going to give, I think it's advice for life in general. You know, I think no matter what, if you were stuck in a rut in life, if you're stuck in a rut in your business, because again, if you're stuck in a rut in your business, it all comes back to us and what's going on with us, and or in your own head maybe, or in your own body. So, you know, I think everything goes back to our why, and why are we doing this, and why did we pick the beauty industry, and why, you know, why is it that we do what we do? So, you know, a lot of times that, you know, even in my trainings, I always tell people, if you don't know your why, you need to find it. So what does that look like? You know, so you need to go and you need to find a very quiet place by yourself, and you need to sit there and you need to have with a pen and paper, and you need to write your why. And if you write your why, you need to ask yourself that question 10 times. So, you know, why am I doing this? Because I want to stay home with my kids. Why? Why do you want to stay home with your kids? I want to stay home with my kids so somebody else doesn't have to raise them. Why? You know, why? You need to keep asking yourself that 10 times and to get to the point that you have your true why. And break that down. And, you know, and I always say, if your why doesn't bring you to tears, it's not good enough. It's not strong enough. You have to have something. So, and I think once you find your passion of why you're doing this, why am I really doing this? You know, why do I love the beauty industry? Why is it that I want to go work 80 hours a week? Because that's what I need to do in the beginning to be successful. Because if I work hard now and I truly leverage myself now, then I can do and dream and do so many bigger things if that's what I aspire to do. So, you know, I think just looking back at ourselves, and a lot of times that's the hardest thing to do, is look at ourselves in the mirror and, you know, say, okay, you know, and a lot of times a lot of those will be answered ourselves. And so that's my biggest advice, I think, would be to really just and this is a perfect time of year, you know, after the holidays, we're starting a new year. Just really sit down, make new goals. 2017, this is what I want to do. This is the goals I want. What do I need to do to achieve that? You know, maybe if you're not a retailer, I'm going to become a retailer, and I'm going to add $10,000 to my bottom line this year. So what does that look like? That's, you know, retailing under $1,000 a month. So what do I need to do that? You know, how do I need to do, you know, to be that way and leverage myself? How can I leverage myself so I can go sit on the beach? But first of all, you have to find your why, and that's what it boils down to. And so sit in a corner, you know, sit in a quiet room by yourself for a day, ask yourself 10 times, and I promise you by the time you get to the 10th time, and sometimes it's hard, by 5, then you're like, okay, it starts to get deep sometimes because you just keep asking yourself over and over. But I promise you, once you get to that point, then you'll achieve. And like I said, for me, it was stuck in a foreign country, you know, but after being stuck for 4 months, number one, I came back with a new why. You know, I had a child with me. I had a new why. I had a reason to do what I was doing. And so you just have to find that. And so that's my biggest tip, I think, is find why you're doing it and revisit why you're doing it.
I love it. That was brilliant. That was brilliant. Trisha, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
So much for being with us tonight. Seriously.
No problem. Thank you.
Good
to see you guys.
Yeah, you did such a wonderful job, and we both really appreciate you taking the time out of your
No
very
problem.
busy schedule to help us with this tonight. Thank you so much.
No problem.
Yes.
Good to see you.
Thank you.
Good to see you.
And hopefully
Thank
we see you soon.
Yes,
We
absolutely.
will, for sure.
All right, guys. So that wraps up tonight, number 14. And you know what? I don't know if we have one next week. I can't remember. I'll have to look at the calendar. But we do have a couple
I believe
more.
2 weeks.
Yeah, okay. So we have a couple more really great webinars scheduled within the next couple weeks. So stay tuned. And like Leigh said before, if you have any questions about anything that we spoke about, either contact the person who invited you to watch the webinar, or you can surely reach out to any one of us, really, to ask your question. So thank you so much again for joining us, and have a wonderful night.
Bye-bye.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.